We're live.
Who's we?
Excellent.
You want to do the song? Let's go. Arty Time. Arty
Excellent.
Time. Arty on. Excellent.
I thought that was the next
Frame
one.
Master's a little bit off today. Reframe this shit.
No, this is. Oh yeah.
Yeah, once you sit back, it's going good. Trust me.
Oh my god, questioning my skills as frame master.
That's not a question. It's a criticism. There was no questioning involved.
Oh, I hope my phone's not gonna vibrate. I didn't.
Oh,
I'm not
bro.
sure if I said it. We're gonna find out.
We're not gonna find out. It's gonna.
Hi, welcome to the podcast. You're gonna find out with us how to go live in real life at events. So you see what I did there?
Yeah, no, I don't go live at events, but I do events live. Like, I just had a nice 3-day event this weekend, Friday to Sunday, and it was pretty awesome. Sunday got rained out, unfortunately, so it was one day less that I had to be out there meeting people in the community and interacting.
Did they give your money back on that day? Just out of curiosity?
Well, this specific event was for a charity event, and
rough.
weather isn't really their fault, so I was happy.
They played that card.
They didn't even play the card. I just didn't play the cheap motherfucker getting his donation back card either.
Excuse me?
Excuse me. Hi, my name's Jerry, and yeah, don't be a Jerry, man. If you're doing a charity thing and like weather doesn't work out in your favor, or you don't make any money, like don't ask for your money back if it's a charity thing. Like, don't be like that, you know. Like, if it doesn't work out,
the owner's already gone with your money. The organizer's long gone.
Oh, it was a huge event.
There were like ribs.
Well, there were thousands of people there, and like I made some decent money. And
explain what the event was.
It was called Rib Fest, and it's just like a big family event where there's
so don't be confused.
Ribbers.
Don't think it's like an art festival that you went to. You literally went to a rib festival and successfully sold art. So tell me about it.
Well, yeah, it's like a big community event where there's like musicians on stage and like. You know, there was like 4 different ribbers from different states that came, and like you basically vote for each one, and you know, so they give it the whole weekend to have the event, so you can try all of them and you know vote for your favorite, etc. And you know, there's a kids zone with like inflatables and toys and whatever, all kinds of stuff for the kids to do, and there was like, you know, a pet show with like. Out of
curiosity, is there an actual contest where there's a judge that has to eat like 50 ribs?
Well, there are like celebrity judges, I think, at the end, but because it was on Sunday, which was the day that was rained out, and I wasn't there, I didn't get to see that. But last year I was also at this same event, and there was like, you know, local celebrity judges, but then there's also the crowd favorites.
I was there last year.
So like the crowd favorite was voted on, you know, by everybody gets to choose what their favorite one was. Anyway. So long story short, it was not an art event, but any local businesses could, you know, rent a spot to display their business or sell their things.
And I think
or whatever.
that I was there, and from my own personal experience, artists do the best at these local community events. The other ones are like talking about their shtick, or
I don't know.
The other ones like, I don't even know what they're doing, bro. They were lost, and an artist is just like, I got this stuff for sale. You buy this stuff.
A real estate agent at one of these things isn't like.
Crushing it.
Yo, go through my iPad and see all my houses for sale and buy one live. Like, that's not what they're doing. They're in the community getting their face out there and the recognition of their brand. And, you know, like, they're not trying to make sales right away.
So
but I'll be honest, like, and we've talked about this before, live events, like, where you and I make lots of sales, but I've seen artists at events like that make no sales and then complain and think that, like, you know, it's because their art sucks, and it's like they sat there all day with their arms crossed and didn't say hi to anyone.
But let's
it's
be
not
real.
That their art sucks.
I've been also in a room where, upon entry, Adam was there, and let me tell you, by the end, they don't have money for me. So you have to also like stay away from certain people who are gonna collect. They just like they're gonna pool the money there. Well, you remember that event where you stole all the money?
No.
He stole the money.
Which event?
He stole the money.
I don't remember which event. I remember
event at the diving bell where I came. Remember, I showed up late, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
and then he had the best table, and I was like,
took the best table. You showed up late. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? He was done. You know, I had a big rack and everything, and he came in with a cardboard box full of T-shirts. You know, I came in with a rack.
That's a nice thing.
With a big rack.
Don't belittle me on the live.
And my.
But the point of
if we didn't belittle each other from time to time, what kind of fucking friends would we be? That's what friends do when they're guys, right?
I guess so.
Yeah, I don't know. Every guy friend I've ever had is
back on track.
That's how you know your friends.
At the event, it's an important thing to be part of the community, right?
It's totally important.
So what do you need to go to these events?
Well, first of all, you need to find out about them, like get on the radar, look for them. Thankfully, I have a few local contacts from doing other events that invited me to this one. And so the next thing you probably need or should have is a tent, like a 10 by 10 tent. Almost all these kind of places, when they rent vending spots to people,
They just have a table sometimes, eh?
they do, but like the spot they'll give you is almost always 10 by 10, because that's the standard size for a trade show tent, and like that's the kind of tent you'll get. You can usually get one for like $89 at Walmart, or if you're in Canada, $129 at Walmart. It's an amazing investment because you can use it over and over again. It keeps the sun off your face, and it more importantly though, it gives a place for people to gather, a space.
Yeah.
A space for you where when they're in that space, when they're at that tent, they're focused on your stuff. And it kind of, like, I've noticed when I've put my tent out, and then there's been events where I've not put my tent out once or twice, and like having the tent out really gives a better vibe, because people gather at that tent. When it's just a table, it's easy to walk by. When it's a tent, they
It's an age-old thing, though. Like, if any market, anywhere in the world, you will notice that they put
a canopy, a roof.
They enclose the object.
Yeah, and the space, so you can have your inventory behind you, and not like, just have a box behind you of like, or whatever you bring your stuff to this thing in.
Oh, you're bringing up the box again.
When you display it on the table, like you're going to have something that you brought your stuff in that's not going to be displayed on the table. It's going to be under the table. So
Did you do mystery boxes at Ribfest?
No.
You didn't do $10 box?
I did, but it was shirts. It wasn't mysteries. Like they
could
and choose a shirt.
He makes fun of the box idea, but he then...
Oh yeah, there's some things that Germ does that I'll straight up steal from him, and I don't feel bad. He's a bootlegger. I'm like, fuck that. I'm bootlegging Germ's ideas.
It's a good idea, though.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
There's some people who love a deal.
There are.
And a box with a deal, they're in.
Yeah, no.
And then there's other people that need better things.
Mm-hmm,
And you have to give them the better things.
At this event, I sold a lot of T-shirts, and it was awesome because I'll be honest, I've spoken in another episode before that I don't sell a lot of clothes, but using his technique, it worked for me. Germ and I managed to get some really good deals on some T-shirts for a little while back, like Black Friday sale style. So, I'm able to sell T-shirts at $10 and make some money. Now the prices have gone up, and I wouldn't be able to do that. But thankfully, I have a bunch of inventory that I can sell at that price. I do make profit on them, and then I can take it and invest it into something else.
And the whole point of a shirt is that it's propaganda.
Yeah, it's definitely.
It's not
walking advertising.
If you didn't have a shirt right now, and I told you I could make you a shirt and I could wear it, or have someone wear it, you'd be like, cool. You potentially would pay for this. Have your art seen on a shirt worn by another person, and in this scenario, they're giving you $5.
Yeah,
the cost of the shirt, giving you $5, and then wearing your art.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's awesome because, like I said, it was a 3-day event. Sunday got rained out, but Friday I was there from like 11 a.m. Well, I was there earlier than that, but like the event started at 11 a.m. And I sold some T-shirts to people on Friday who came back on Saturday wearing that shirt.
That's a good feeling.
And it was awesome. It was an amazing feeling. And I had quite a few people that came back to my table like 2 or 3 times throughout the day. One of the most amazing things is I had a few kids that came to my table, and like they just like loved what I was doing.
They need to see it the most.
To the point that like, there's this one kid who came by, and like I could tell he loved my stuff, and he was asking me a bunch of questions about it, and what's the title of this one, and how did you do this one, what was the inspiration, etc., etc. I spoke to him for like, I don't know, 10 minutes. And he came back 2 or 3 times to look around, and I could tell he was shy the first time he came around. He kind of like, no, I'm just looking, like. But then he got more curious, and he realized like I was kind of friendly and I wasn't going to eat him or something like that. And like, I don't know, I guess he gained whatever trust he needed to gain to feel comfortable asking me more questions. But he did, and he was hooked. And he went and he got his dad, and then his dad kind of like drug him away, like, yeah, no, I don't want to go eat some ribs like this. No, like just straight up like grumpy cat dad, like no.
He ate too many ribs. He's tired.
I don't know what to do. I don't think he had his ribs yet. Maybe he was hangry. But anyway, long story short, he came back again later with his mom and his dad and his sister. And then his sister also was hooked on my stuff. His sister looked at my stuff, and his sister was a little younger than him. Like, he was maybe 10 or 11, and his sister was maybe 6 or 7. And, they were both hooked. And, like, they had this little family powwow few feet away from my table, and they ended up giving each of them $5, and they bought some stuff from me. So it ended up really being amazing, and it was a great experience just because seeing like the look on a kid's face when they're hooked on what I'm doing is just such a gift. Like that's. I don't know how to describe it. It's a different feeling from when an adult is interested in my stuff. It's just like I don't know, like
I wish I would have met an artist when I was younger.
And then there were these other two girls that I want to tell the story about. There was these other two girls who might have been 10, and they told me they were best friends. And they wanted to buy one of my prints. They had $8 between them. My prints and the frames were $10. And
he didn't. Yeah.
Well, no. Look, let me tell the story. So look, I thought they were sisters at first, and I asked them, "Are you sisters?" And they're like, "No." And I'm like, "Well, who's gonna keep the frame?" And whatever. Long story short, they're like, "Oh, you're right," but they decided to get a bunch of other things from me. They got some of my pens and some of my stickers and bookmarks, and I gave them a good deal. I did end up giving them a gift before you drag me under the bus on the podcast.
Yeah, name some of the products that you have and the price points.
Let me finish the story here. So look, I told them, like, I knew, they're 10. I'm like, look, I know you girls aren't working. I know, like, you're probably spending your allowance on my money, on my art, and like, it really means a lot to me that you're spending your money on like my creations when there's all these other things and candy and there's a bunch of other things you could spend your money on. It really means a lot to me that you're spending your money on my things. And they were like, oh, and like I owed them $1. I gave them their change back after they bought the magnets and stuff from me and gave them a couple extras. I still ended up, I went to hand them their change, their $1 back, and they're like, no, you keep it, you're awesome. And I'm like, what? Like, they gave me a tip. And like, they wanted me to keep it, I tried to give it back, and they're like, no, keep it, you're awesome. Like, so that was, like, what can I say? And then, like, at the end of the day, when I was packing up my table...
You bought candy.
No, I didn't buy candy.
Oh.
They came back, and they had change, I guess, from somewhere else, I don't know what, but they had, like, 50 cents, and they put it on my table, and they're like, here's another tip for you. We love what you do. Like, we want to see you next year. And it was, like, just an amazing feeling, It's, like...
$2, I know, man. I would have...
Like, like...
I'm fucking with you.
It's not the $2, it's not the money, it's the intention and the meaning behind it, It's like...
They could have bought candy with that.
They could have bought candy, they could have done anything else with it, 50 cents, big money, it's nothing or whatever, but to them it's not nothing. To them, like, I know when I was 10, 25 cents got me something. I know that was a long time ago.
I remember penny candies, bro.
I'm pretty sure 50 cents can still buy you some candy or in a bubble gum machine or get you some, like, or put it in your piggy bank and save up to buy, a Polly Pocket or whatever toys. Or I don't know what 11-year-old girls buy these days. Like, I'm not an 11-year-old girl and I don't have a sister or anything. So I'm clueless about what 11-year-old girls spend their money on, but I'm so grateful that these two decided to spend some of their money on my art.
So what are the products that you have and what are the price points? Give me the lowest. I show up with 50 cents.
Yeah,
I can only tip you or buy penny candies?
The lowest price point I have is my stickers. I sell 4 stickers for $2 or 1 for $1, so almost everybody buys all 4. And that's pretty much the lowest price point I have. And yeah, I like I said, when they came back to drop the 50 cents on my table, I was packed up already. Like, my stickers were already inside. Like, it would have taken me 5 minutes to dig them out.
Yeah, sing it.
Yeah. Now you're making me feel like a dick.
No.
I should have been like, here's my box of all my merch. Like, take it home, girls. It's all yours. Start a business.
Well, sometimes I allow people to go in the box for free.
Mm-hmm.
You for free.
Not a bad idea.
Because and I don't know. It also, when you have someone, let's say someone hasn't dug in the box for a bit, to have someone dig in the box makes other people start wondering what's in the box.
100%. When people
that
always happens.
When there's a crowd, you got to know the feeling. This is the magic. This is the sauce that I'm teaching you right here. A box, it's $10. This gets the dealers in. They're like 10% of the crowd. If you let one go in, the other ones will will think that they're gonna miss out on the deal, and they come in.
Yeah, that's what happened.
It's very strange, but that's how that type of person reacts.
Almost
it's a social
either
phenomenon.
there was no one digging through my box of t-shirts, or there was 2 or 3 people digging through my box of t-shirts. That's how it was. So yeah, now next time I know when it's slow, I'll maybe give one away. You know, that's
or you
an
talk
awesome
about
idea.
it, or you talk about like the person who eyeballed it. You talk about it, and you get them to start. You know, because when you talk about things, that's how you sell things.
Yeah,
so you have to get comfortable talking about your products. And when I said price point, what I meant was, you have like don't compete at a $50 price point with all your products, because that's just not smart business. Someone who comes and wants to spend $50, there's a product
for them. Yeah.
And don't give them what's it called when there's too much choice? The
paradox of choice. But look,
yeah.
I'll be honest, like as an artist, sometimes for me personally, I've found having a lot of different things on my table makes me look more professional to the
I meant in the
artist kind of person.
I meant in the same price point.
Okay, you're right.
They show up and they're gonna spend 50 on you. Don't give them 10 things to choose, because they won't
50.
spend
you're
anything.
You're right. I have a
ribs.
lot of different price points on my table.
Yeah,
and,
that's
like some of the things that I have that I actually make the most money off of are my pens. And I've spoken about this before.
He's sold hundreds of pens.
I've sold hundreds of pens. And
I've seen
like people,
mountains of pens.
People buy my pens over and over and over and over. Like I've sold many pens to many people that come back, and they saw me last year. And I do another event that happens at the same place. It's not the rib thing. It's called Expo GPK, which is like an expo for local businesses in Greenfield Park. And but it happens at the same place as this Rib Fest, so people are kind of getting used to seeing me at that place doing my thing with my tent and everything. So, they come back and they're like, "Oh, you, the pen guy, I want some of your pens." And then, like it just happened. Like, people come back and they're like, "Oh, your pens, I got some last year. They're amazing. I want more. I want to give them as gifts. Like, everybody loves your pens." And
you're the pen guy.
My pens, I'm the pen guy, and I make mad money off of those pens. Like I double or triple my money on those pens, because I get them for like around $1.25, and I sell them for for $3 for one, or 2 for $5, and 5 for 10. So a lot of times, like people just buy 1 or 2, and when I do that, I'm at least doubling my money. So when you're doubling your money, 10 times a day, 100 times a day, that adds up a lot. Like I literally started the day with, I don't know, on Friday I had probably 50 sets of pens. Now I have literally like 5 individual pens left.
Now pen is
like around 100 pens.
A pen is astute because everybody needs a pen.
Everyone
uses a pen.
From time to time, everyone uses
And I want to
pens.
bring up the other social phenomenon that happens when you talk to people at events. For some reason, I'm not this type of person, but I've noticed this. For some people, they feel like they owe you something when they come into the booth and listen to you or exchange with you. They feel like they need to pay out. And a pen is a product that they actually find useful, and they will pay $3 to also leave the situation. It's like their exit toll fee. Oh yes, congratulations.
In a way,
dude, we're gonna be honest here with the people. We're gonna be honest.
Personally, I think it's kind of like they came to the event to spend money on local businesses.
Sure, and that's
to support local people.
That's the pittance that they pay.
So
and
it's
they're
not
satisfied.
that they're just paying to get out of the conversation, like.
But this is the type of person that might not buy art. I'm talking about a specific. They don't buy art
at these events.
You gotta have a pen for them.
At these events, it's very rare that I sell original art. What I make my money on is my pens, my stickers, my magnets, my framed prints. Those do well.
Get out your notebook here.
My tablecloths, my other clothes. Sometimes this time I didn't sell a lot of other clothes, but there's been other times where selling clothes off my rack made my day. Or my weekend, and I sell Mousepads. What else did I sell? A lot of. I think that's mainly what I sold was pens. I sold some Mousepads. I sold a tablecloth.
I can't believe you're selling Mousepads.
Mousepads do amazing. Everyone
it's like 2020 in this piece. This guy is selling Mousepads. And I've seen him sell it.
I
saw him sell a Mousepad to a woman who didn't even have a desktop computer. Didn't even have a computer, period.
Yeah, and at 420 events, I call them like dab mats instead,
Yeah,
so,
but
like,
she wasn't like that. She was just gonna. What do you think she did with it?
I
Put her
think
hot
I
soups
think
on
she
it?
probably if it's the woman I think you're talking about,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she put her bong on it.
Oh. Okay, good.
But yeah, so like that's why I brought up the dab mat thing.
So
but-
if you go to nexusvisions.com, you can buy yourself a sick
no,
bong
I'm
mat.
sold.
Are you sold out of bong mats?
No, I think you know what? I think I have one left of the Galactic Vision portal, and that's all I have left of Mousepads.
They're called Mousepads on his website, people.
Yeah, but I mean that's what I use mine as, and honestly, like,
has it that
if you
fucking
put
good.
your art on Mousepads, here's how you sell them when you're talking to people, and like, because people are gonna look at them and they're gonna touch them and they're gonna feel them, and you go, I bet your Mousepad is like 8 or 10 years old, and they're gonna say yes it is, because nobody buys new Mousepads often. It's a thing you buy once and you leave it there until like it's all like the faded and like, you know, like there's the spot where your hand always is and like it's garbage. And when you point that out to somebody and they're staring at the thing that they kind of like and it's already like in their fingers, and you point out like, why don't you just upgrade your Mousepad? They're like, yeah, let's do it. And they do it. And like,
I have one actually. So yeah,
I mean,
go to nexusvisions.com and buy yourself a bong mat and use it as a mouse pad.
And as far as like things that you can sell internationally, they ship in an envelope with a stamp, so you don't need to you know, package them. So I sell them like free shipping on my website.
Where'd you get
anywhere in the
them?
world. Those I get at the Magic Secret place.
Oh, should we bring it up? We
I
should
don't know,
because
I don't know if we should yet.
because
I don't know if
how
we
to
should give
stock
away
for an
that
event.
that secret.
There's other secrets involved in that secret that are still a sauce that nobody knows about.
I don't know, man. Like,
We get them at Vistaprint.
Vistaprint has a lot of amazing deals.
They
on
make
things.
the pens that you
Yeah.
sell.
They do. The pens that I get are Cambridge. They have like several different ones. The ones that I get are called the Cambridge pens. They have like Cambridge and London and I don't know. Anyway, they're all weird
But these
names,
types
but they write super well. Those are the ones I get, anyways. But
So
they have
these types
they have
of sites
all
are
kinds of things.
promotional sites. They make promotional gear for businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Why it's so blessed for an artist is that artists sell that shit.
Yeah, like,
you know, a business gets it and
gives it away to promote their business.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, they get their mugs and thermoses and dude, it
or to
never
their
ends.
employees, you know, so
Backpacks.
their employees have all branded stuff when they're on job
Oh,
sites, like
the-
construction companies
you
that
wouldn't
make sure their
believe the
employees have
amount
a
of
branded
products.
thermos and a branded jacket, so they're representing the company.
A
when they're doing
banner.
jobs.
We need a $5 4-foot vinyl banner.
Yeah,
for a thing.
they have amazing deals sometimes. $5 banners.
4
Here's
foot,
the thing: if you're an artist, and
$5 vinyl printed banner, and you're an artist. Did you just do that? $5, 4 feet.
yeah, here's the other thing that's awesome. Like, if you're looking at getting your designs put on stuff, like, you can go to places like Society 6 and Redbubble, which we've talked about before, are horrible.
Did
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we mentioned
Horrible.
it.
I mean,
It's a terrible idea. You don't
I
make
wouldn't
any
advise
profit, and you advertise for Zazzle or Redbubble or Society 6.
if you want to get
It's
serious.
garbage. Get your own freaking website or get an Etsy, or like, don't be a Jerry, you know, like maybe you're not ready to start selling your art yet if you're not ready to invest a few $100s or a few hours setting up your own Etsy shop. So look, if you're not a Jerry, then you know, spend some money and get her done.
Hold the product.
And here's the idea.
Hold
Yeah,
the product
when you
because
have
you'll take pictures of the product.
Yeah, it makes it easier for you to take pictures of your own
You
products.
can go to events now.
You can go to events with your own products. You have your own inventory, and
Believe in yourself and invest. Get a box.
Yeah, and and then you can ship things yourself with your own personal touch on them, and you can maybe, you know, throw in a sticker. Somebody orders a mouse pad, throw in a free sticker. Somebody orders a T-shirt, throw in a free mouse pad. Whatever the case may be, like, you can upgrade
Oh, yeah, I
people's
think-
orders.
If anyone's ever bought something from me, I think you know that, like, I'm shoving things in there. And I don't think Society 6 would ever do that.
No, never.
And-
Absolutely not, unless it
And
was a
explain
mistake.
it to them and the amount. Like, hey, but make sure you put a pin. And I'm pretty sure that guy has that pin. So make sure you put it in the other pin. The same pin. Although, people always get the same stickers. I gotta get more stickers. But I'm pretty, like, I've ordered from people. I'm still waiting on orders from some people that I support. Like,
No, and
I'm starting to think that I might be shipping things too fast.
No, I like to ship fast. I like my clients like to have their
too,
stuff
just
right
joking,
away. You know,
yeah.
that's just professional.
I
At the
set
end
up
of
my
the
shipments
day,
before
at the
coming
end of
here.
the day, no matter what you're selling,
I'm selling green
if you're
hats.
shipping it, you're kind of competing with Amazon, and they have like overnight shipping and Prime and da 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 da, and you can get things in
Yeah, but they
24
don't
to
have the
48
human
hours.
touch. I think that's the
That's
whole
what I'm
thing.
saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They
And you
don't
have
have the
the
human
handwritten
touch.
letter.
They don't have the human touch. But if people have to wait literally like 5 times as long, like ooh, a big whole 5 days instead of overnight. But when you think about it, that's 5 times as long.
I know, I've been waiting
People have that like
almost a month. I don't even know what the fuck's going on. I think I might have joined a pre-order, a Society 6 pre-order. You know what I mean?
yeah, I don't know.
Because it doesn't make sense. Like,
No, there's been a few times where I've ordered
and
stuff
the guy's
from
in Canada,
artists,
bro.
and they take a
He's in
long
New
time to
Brunswick.
ship, and I don't want to drag anyone's names under the bus. But if
Yeah, I
you're
know.
one of those artists that like I buy stuff from, and you don't ship my stuff within like a week or two, like it's kind of annoying, man, and it like makes me not want to order stuff from you anymore. So like you know, speed that shit up. It's not rocket science, you know. If you don't have the shipping supplies on hand ahead of time, like make sure you do next time you do a run of prints or whatever it is. You get your shipping supplies on hand. You know, get your quotes.
Oh yeah, so let's talk about
Get your
what you
quotes
need
ready.
to have. What do you need to have to ship? I ship in Ziploc baggies. You know, heavier duty.
Not your
zip-
original art.
Oh no, we'll get
Your
to that.
shirts.
We'll get to that. Shirts, but a lot of things are shipped in this bag. You buy this hat, most likely coming with a shirt and some shit, in a Ziploc bag, duct taped in the duct tape or taped in the areas that are vulnerable.
Sounds so sketch.
And
Comes in a Ziploc bag, duct tape. Like,
Yeah.
all right. No, I get it. You're
it's dope.
like a street dude, man. So
It's
that's
super
awesome.
dope.
Like
even
your
the people
urban
at
style of
the people
art,
at
like
the post are like, can I do this? And they have to go ask, and it's of course you can.
No, I
Anything
know
that's
that, I
a wrap
know that.
you can ship, but even they're like, what
I have
the fuck?
friends who work at the post
But
office.
because I
and
want you to, when you receive the
it's wrapped,
package, to
it's
know, to kind of like it's a Christmas vibe, but it's still you don't want to get a thing and not be sure that it's that. I want you to show up to the door and be sure. Oh shit, it's that, and you open it, and you still get the reveal, but
yeah,
you get
that's also kind of why my return labels have my logo on them, and I slap a sticker on every package I send.
Yeah.
So like when you get it, you know it's from me, but it's just not like
and it might be a pizza box.
It's
If it's
a
you,
pizza
it's a
box.
pizza
It's almost
box.
always a pizza box if it's small enough to or thin enough to fit in a pizza
And these
box.
are canvases.
Yeah, my canvas, any canvas, like I think the biggest pizza box you can get like is 18 by 18 or 20 by 20, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you're working on canvases that are 1.5 inches deep or 3/4 inches deep, those will fit perfectly in a pizza box. And pizza boxes are made of thick cardboard. They're meant to hold up to like grease and shit like that.
They can take it.
They're durable. They can take it. They can take it. So wrap your painting in a layer or two of bubble wrap. Put it in the pizza box. Don't forget to put your thank you letter in the pizza box, and some stickers or something else, and your little bonuses for your clients who are buying original art from you. And it's perfect. I've literally never, knock on wood there, like I've never had a painting arrive damaged, and I've sent, I don't know, I've sold around 350 paintings, probably 250 or more of them were online that I had to ship. So, that's a pretty awesome rate of success of getting my original art to people without any problems. So, for small paintings 18 by 18 or under, I totally recommend it. Pizza boxes are cheap. You can order them online in bulk, and you get them for like 35 cents or something like that. So or if you have a local pizza shop, I had a local pizza shop near me that's like so well known, they do not need their logo on their pizza boxes though. So they have white pizza boxes, and that's how I started getting them. Like I came up with the idea when I had this little painting to ship. I was looking for a box at home, and I'm like, I had boxes like this big and this wide, and I'm like, I'm gonna spend $40 extra to ship air. It's like, this isn't potato chips. So so I ding ding ding, the light went on. I walked by the pizza shop. I'm like, hey, I'm an artist, and I got a little painting to ship that'll fit perfectly in a pizza box. Do you guys think you could sell me one? And the first few times they're like, oh, we'll give you one. But then I started asking for like 4 or 5 at a time. And then like they're like, let me go see the manager. And like now next to the cash, there's like a list of prices for people that want to buy blank empty pizza boxes. And like sometimes I'll run out of a certain size of pizza box that I, ordered in bulk, and still go over and see them at Miss Italia and grab grab an empty pizza box. Or like there's even been times where I ordered pizza from them before I was on my keto diet, and now I can't really eat pizza.
I've had pizza the other day.
Yeah, I know. I could make my own pizza, but Miss Italia pizza, like I'd have to just eat the toppings, so like it's not worth it. But anyway, long story short is I've even called them and ordered pizza and be like, yeah, and by the way, I need like 4 10-inch pizza boxes and 2 of the 16-inch pizza boxes and a Bambino 8-inch pizza box. So can you guys do that? And they're like, you want empty pizza boxes? And I'm like, yep, look at the sign right next to you on the wall, because I know where the reception desk is. And she's like, okay, we'll do that, all right. Like, and then the guy comes to the door with my pizza and my empty pizza boxes, and it's like, it's perfect. So like, I don't know, I recommend it.
So you did eat pizza?
I used to eat pizza, yeah.
Oh, I thought you said you ordered recently.
No, like I've been doing the pizza box thing for years now.
My technique for shipping, if you've never seen it, it's I get cardboard, some good ass cardboard, and just
What's
regular
ass cardboard?
Just regular paper, and I wrap the painting in this big paper, newsprint paper. You can get it for super cheap, and then the cardboard just has to extend past the canvas a bit on either side, and you wrap that in duct tape.
Mm-hmm.
That shit cannot be damaged. I'm telling you, I've shipped so many. It's the best technique. You don't have to look for a box. You just have to get it past the sides a bit. Why it should pass the sides a bit is that it could be thrown, and those corners will take the hit, not the canvas inside. I'm telling you, it's the best.
Mm-hmm. No, for larger canvases, I would do that if I didn't have my other simple solution. Like, yeah, and my solution costs money, and it's easy to go get like boxes for free and newspaper and stuff for free.
Yeah, it works for 4 footers.
So like, if you're still like
ship 4 footers like
super budget conscious about like getting your shipping supplies and everything, that's awesome. I totally recommend doing that. Like I say, I used to go finagle my pizza boxes for free at first, so I was lucky that they gave them to me for free. But anyway, so what I do for my bigger paintings now is I order, they're called, I think they call them mirror boxes, and I get them from uline.ca. In the States, it would be uline.com. And they're listed as mirror boxes, and they're basically 4 corners that you can put together, and I think they come together to ship any size up to about 40 inches. And then after that, if I need to go to the next level, there are mattress boxes that U-Haul sells. And you end up spending a lot of money to ship air, but if you have a really big painting to ship, it's worth it to get them. I have used those before. So
yeah, these are tips.
Yeah, I mean they're kind of expensive. They're like $50 or $60 for the mattress boxes.
See,
but if you're shipping a really big painting to somebody, they're probably paying enough that the $50-$60 shouldn't really matter for the shipping.
My life is simpler than that. I buy things from Vistaprint. They ship it in a big box. I cut up their boxes. And I ship my paintings in their boxes.
Mm-hmm. No, and lawyers pay me several $1,000s to buy a painting from me. I don't mind if it shows up their place in a like branded U-Haul box, like safely without like construction handmade home style stuff. It's just a little. In my mind, it's a better impression for a higher end client. Then again, it may not be. Like there might be clients who end up thinking it's super cool that the artists themselves sat down and freaking cut out other boxes to make this box. Like, I don't know.
I worked in box factories when I was younger, FedEx and UPS, and it's safe. They're gonna chuck it anyways. You're actually it's more risky if the thing can move within the thing.
Yeah, for me, it's more about the impression when the client gets it.
If you have a U-Haul box and it can move inside,
like, let us know what you think. What do you think? What would you rather get? Would you rather get like a nice tight U-Haul box or like a window box?
Well, in the future, what I would really like to do is have fragile stickers.
No! Do not do fragile stickers. Terrible idea. Warning. Fragile means nothing in the postal code. when you're shipping stuff through, whether it be FedEx or like, unless you pay extra for them for insurance, the fragile sticker pretty much means to all the postal workers, kick this box.
Who
Because
doesn't?
yes, it
I
does.
worked in these fucking box factories.
Go
bro.
read online, man. I've
Okay, well, the
Putting
reason why I'm saying
fragile
this, I'm not saying it
is-
because I care about them being fragile. I just want to make a cool fragile sticker, bro. That's all. Do not get wet. I'm talking
I
about
don't
bootleg
know.
stickers. I'm talking about so when you get it, it says a thing that you're used to seeing,
Don't
but it's
put
not saying it in the same way, so you know it's me.
don't put a fragile sticker on a painting that took you many hours, please. Like, like.
Well, they're not gonna
Because
kick it
in the
'cause it says
postal standards, there's no putting a fragile sticker means nothing. Like there's no law, there's no
I'm only doing it for
standards
style.
for post guys to like. No, I know, but like I know people that worked in the post
Okay, so
office
this
too.
side up.
They're the ones that told me
I'll put a
that
sticker that says
specifically
this
that
side up.
especially during holiday season when they have temporary people that they hire on for 2 or 3 months. During Christmas season, like those people, like they'll fucking chuck your packages, they'll kick them, they'll boot, they don't care, you know. And if it says fragile, it's even funnier to them because they're like, ha, fragile,
Okay,
my ass. Like there's
Okay, yeah, I'll agree with that.
So,
agree
like,
with that. Oh yes,
I
so we were definitely throwing everything, and it didn't matter if it said fragile.
yes,
But it's not like that one says fragile. Let's punt it. No, they were all getting thrown.
I guess it depends who, because
No,
I
they're all getting thrown.
have heard stories who specifically said like when it says fragile on it, let's punt it is pretty much what
it
happens.
just happened to be fragile for real, and the fact that we throw everything made it break.
All right. Well,
It's just that it was fragile.
There you go. You've heard stories from two people who talk about people throwing and breaking fragile stuff at places where you'd think that sticker should be extra careful with this, but it doesn't. So, at your own risk, if you want to put a fragile sticker on things,
Gotta make sure it doesn't move in the box. If it doesn't move, and
it's up to you to
my
make sure your stuff gets
I'm
there.
telling you, my design is made because
Ordered
I know
by
what they're
insurance.
doing. They could literally just go like this and whip it. The canvas will not break.
Now, I know that to 99% of the packages I've sent, I know that there's hardly anything I sell that's really fragile. You know, and like,
You show the glass in the frame.
yeah, I do. No, so far nobody's told me they got one with the glass broken.
Me neither.
I don't know if anybody ever got one with the glass broken and just didn't tell me.
Because I pop glass all the time.
Which I guess is possible.
I pop glass at my house, so I can't imagine how it makes it.
Oh, you know, before I forget, before we were talking about things you need when you're vending at fairs, and we got off traffic, and there's like 3 other things that I think you need. You needed a tent. You need a tablecloth, preferably like a black tablecloth and or a branded tablecloth, because that'll drape over the front of your table, and then you can put your inventory under your table, and it doesn't look messy.
Smart.
And it just kind of looks better than a bare table, you know, to have that on there. Some events will provide that for you, like the event at the Diving Bell provided us with tablecloths, and I didn't need to bring mine that day, but I did anyway, because I always do.
Vistaprint has one.
But Vistaprint does, and you can buy branded ones, but they're like $400, which is ridiculous, so don't buy tablecloths from Vistaprint.
Why don't you just buy the 4x4 vinyl banner?
Yeah, I guess you could
$20.
do that. I guess.
And you have the 4 foot on your side and the 4 foot on the other, so design it so that it looks super badass.
Yeah, well, that's another thing you could do.
You have a vinyl banner that's been outside for like 5 years. The thing hasn't even taken any damage.
You're right, but that's not a 4 foot one. That's like a 8 foot one or something. Anyway, you can do that. Most vending spaces, if you're renting a table and they provide the table they're going to provide you is going to be 8 feet wide and 8 feet long and 30 inches wide.
You go around with a measuring tape?
No, it's just standard thing when you're doing a booth.
The booth standard regulation.
Yes, they are standard because trade shows are standard all over the world.
You've been keeping notes on this.
Like, I don't know, man. I thought it was like common knowledge that like tents are all the same size at events. And
well, this is good. This is good.
Are all
this
the
is
same
good to
size,
know.
and table spaces are all the same size. I mean, there are exceptions to the rule. If you're at a church basement in Racine, Wisconsin, and like they've had these tables in their basement for 45 years or 145 years, who knows, maybe they're not the standard trade show size that they are today. But almost anywhere you go that rents those plastic fold out tables, they're 8 feet by 30 inches, and they're designed that way so that they fit in a 10-foot space and have a little space on the side. so that they're not touching the legs of your tent. So anyway, and the other thing that you should have is a bin or a box with wheels or a dolly, something that you can roll stuff. Because when you go to events, you're rarely going to be able to pull your car up right to your spot. You're going to have to unload somewhere and drag your stuff, maybe 50 feet, maybe 500 feet, maybe upstairs, maybe to an elevator if you're in a conference center or some type of thing like that. You're going to need to bring your stuff somewhere, and having wheels to do that is very, very helpful if you have a lot of stuff. If you just have one little box of shirts, then that might not be so important. But if you're at a bigger place where you want to bring your canvases, or if you have as much merch as I do, then or a rack like I do, I bring my rack everywhere, and that does extra business for me, and it also makes me stand out compared to a lot of the other vendors, because having that rack, it's like I'm boosted up to that next level of professionalism a bit, where I'm not just like a crafter who does this part-time hobby thing. It's like people look at my table and they're like, wow, this guy's serious, and they see all my different merchandise, and they know that I invested into that, and it reflects on the passion and the dedication that I have for my art and my art career, the fact that I'm willing to invest money into it to have all this stuff done. And that gets the reciprocal respect of people being willing to spend their money on it, because they feel comfortable that they're buying something professional, or from a professional, and it seems to really help. So you need the tent, you need the tablecloth, you need the bin with wheels, or like a dolly with wheels, something that you can roll your stuff on. It's going to make life a lot easier.
And you're gonna need products.
Yeah, you're going to need stuff to sell.
Yeah.
That's up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to make.
Well, no, you don't want to stand there all day and not make any money. At the end of the day, you want to walk away with $1,000.
It's really important
get products.
In my experience, it's really important to have things in the $5 range. Everybody's willing to spend $5. You have the pens, I have magnets, I have stickers. Those are all things I can sell for $5, and I'm getting $5 bills all day. And as long as those things that I'm selling for $5 are doubling or tripling my money on them, then that's that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the type of thing, like I said, with the pens.
A $20 chase is the best product, which is something that is normally, let's say, 15, but if you get 2, I'll give you for 20.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what starts racking up the real money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you might not be making triple your money in this scenario. When you start doing that, you might only be making double, close to triple. But at the end of the day of the event, you're talking about $5, but the 20s count way. They come out of people faster, and they count out faster. You can get to 1,000 in a day if you chase 20s.
See, I've had $20 stuff on my table a lot, and for me, my money usually seems to come from the $5 things, personally.
For the $20 chase, that's copyright, GermDee.
Make a shirt.
It's $15, but if you buy 2, $20 for you. It rhymes too. You can use it.
It does. There you go. And so for me personally, and I know my market too, where I'm going, where I'm selling these things. A lot of times the events that I sell my art at, where I do the best, are not art events. They're not art markets. They're community events where and
it's not the same products.
Yeah, it's really not.
It's not the same market. Pins and
I'm also
at a regular person event.
I'm also not competing with 20 other artists. I'm competing with the real estate agent who's just giving out his card. I'm competing with the coffee shop that's selling coffee so that people can stay awake and come look at my art longer. I'm competing with the hockey team trying to sign up the kids for the next season. I'm competing with in other words, I'm really not competing with anyone.
You were the artist.
I'm the artist in the community, or one of the artists in the community that people come and see, and it's an important thing. And seeing these kids come to my table and just be blown away, and a lot of adults too, but it really made me see how important art is in the community. And even I had one lady who had tears in her eyes. She came up to me and she started talking to me
about... She got hot sauce in her eyes?
No, she was a vegan, and she talked to me about how she hated how, this event was so popular, and, how my little booth with mandalas was like an oasis for her.
Did you tell her about the piggies?
Yes. I did.
You're the
I did.
best.
I did.
But don't you understand, young vegan?
No, she
The
was
piggies love it.
probably like 65 years old.
That's why you call her young vegan.
Yeah. So anyway, long story short is, she came to my table and she told me that my table was a little oasis, the mandalas, the spiritual vibe that my table had, and that she felt like it was meant to be that I was there because she was there with her family and nobody understood her,
Oh
and
my
I
God.
understood her.
And then you gave
And-
her the message.
And she had a tear in her eyes when she was talking to me, and I told her that, she went on about the ribs and everybody eating meat and this and that and the other thing. And I told her, first of all, I think that, and I truly think this.
I know, I want you to say
this.
this.
Is off topic,
This is
but I
fucking
truly
hilarious.
think that, animals that we eat, some of them, maybe not all of them, but some of them maybe choose to reincarnate in that situation as a gift to humans that eat them. And it's like one of the highest forms of sacrifice that, like, a Buddha, like, the term bodhisattva is kind of what I'm talking about, like someone who makes a supreme sacrifice of themselves for the benefit of
Someone else.
someone else or the future generations or whatever. And it's an experience that a soul might choose to go through just to benefit the person who's eating meat. And personally, I'm on a keto diet. I kind of need to eat meat. I guess I don't have to eat meat. There's ways to do keto without it, but it's hard. So yeah, I eat meat, and I told her that I'm on the diet and that I kind of have no choice, or that it's very hard to not eat meat on my diet, and that I told her about my beliefs. And secondly, I told her that these events aren't about the ribs. These events are about the community. And I told her about the kids from high school that I went to high school with that came by my table and said hi and were happy that I was sober and wasn't a drunk fool anymore. And my old French teacher came by my table and we were live. So yeah, told her about the French teacher that I saw and all the other people that I've seen at these community events before. And I'm like, look, it's not just about the ribs. It's about the community. It's about all the people here. You're here with your family. Like, enjoy it. Enjoy the day. Like, it's a beautiful day. Like, everybody's here. Look, there's hundreds and hundreds of people here.
I think we talked about this last time.
Enjoying.
It's the framing of life.
Yeah, it's the framing. You're right. The last
person was
episode was
focused-
called Framing.
Look,
That's the first time you've remembered.
well,
like,
some
the
people
last
ask-
episode.
I know, I'm pretty good lately. But must be because I'm vegan.
Oh, I guess so.
My vegan hat. I
Your
just
vegan hat.
the green hat is to commemorate the time that Germ went vegan.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah. But the real thing is, like, you should never push your beliefs on someone else. Everyone has their own process of learning and whatever. And if you think that you know more than the other person, that's a bit weird to begin with too. But no one likes to be forced into something.
If you think you know more than someone else, that's a weird thing to begin with, says the guy that hosts a podcast about making a career of art.
Yeah, but you should. But while being a teacher, you also know that you're the student. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Don't be arrogant that you're not going to learn anything new.
It just made
But
me
my
laugh.
major point was that, what's the point in being vegan and being unhappy in this scenario, right? When I went to the Rib Fest, I didn't order any ribs. I thought it was funny that these people were getting together and having ribs and they love ribs. I find it mad, let's say. Comical. I get to the point where I don't get mad about it. I get mad about it.
When I see the community,
laugh, it's
when
hilarious.
I see all the people coming together, and especially people that are maybe 15 or 20 years older than
That's
me,
beautiful.
and they're getting together and laughing, and they only do it once or twice a year, and if the ribs are the frickin' thing that brings the community together and makes all these people have a smile on their face and laugh and joke around for the day, and there's a stage and live music and crowds going wild for a couple of the local bands and stuff like that, if it frickin' takes ribs for that to happen, I'm cool with that. Those piggies, thank you.
I think and you brought this up to me in the past, I think there's really something to be said about embracing the chaos in this world and not letting it affect your inner world and being upset that sometimes the world is just a chaotic, crazy place.
Or that it's different
Or it
from
can
the
be
way
perceived
you
as
want it.
such.
You want it to be, and obviously and that's it. It's what you focus on. You can focus on all these people eating ribs, or you can focus on the fact that 90% of them have a smile on their face and they're with friends and family that they might not see very often otherwise. And
Yeah.
this
My
thing-
real point
this
is
thing brings it all together. It really felt
community
like a community event. Exactly.
this is,
It gets-
my point is that I don't eat pork, and I haven't eaten pork for over 10 years, but I still went to Ribfest. So if you're a vegan and you're like, I would never go to Ribfest, shut up and sign up for Ribfest.
Especially if it's just to sell your art.
Yeah, that's what I think it's about, right? I mean, if you are an artist and looking for events, but you wouldn't do meat eating events, or you don't drink and it's a
at the same time,
Oktoberfest,
if you're
at the same don't time, drink or don't eat the
if
ribs.
all your art is like anti-meat eater art,
it'd be hilarious.
It'd be hilarious.
It'd be hilarious.
Don't be surprised if you get shit on all day by people who are like, you're at the wrong place for this, and like be strong enough to take it.
No, because the other person will be there with their family because it's a community event. They'll be like, oh my God.
Doesn't matter. That means their whole family will gang up and be like, yeah, what the hell are you thinking? This is Rib Fest. If you're a vegan, get the fuck out of here. This isn't Vegan Fest. Go start Vegan Fest.
Someone should start that. Holy shit, that's a good idea. But that's called the Ironshirt Technique, where you go to these places with your beliefs, and if you can take that abuse, then your beliefs are stronger.
Yeah, I would agree in that case. Because there's lots of, and this is true like on Facebook where like I've had to stand up to these people that give me shit about selling mandalas. Well, not stand up to them but like, you know, learn how to ignore them and not take it personally. It's not always easy. Sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I still take things personally like that. I don't have the iron shirt or whatever all the time on. But, you know, sometimes I do, and when I do, things usually seem to go better, because like, I just don't take things personally and do my own thing.
If you were doing your own thing here before the internet, and someone came into your basement and started yelling at you for painting mandalas, yeah, if your hobby was painting in your house before the internet, and someone came into your house and started yelling at you, telling you can't do that as a hobby.
Yeah, or criticizing the way you're doing
it. They'd be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So if they're doing it online, they're crazy too. They're not thinking straight. Like, the person can do what they want.
Yeah, yeah.
And if another person's like, I want that in my house, look, understandably, it costs money to ship it to that person. It costs a bit of money.
Yeah.
And you talked about it last time where I didn't know this, that the Buddhist monks fly to New York and get put up in like hotels and shit like that.
Well, I don't know if they fly to New York or if they actually like have a monastery in New York.
Oh, okay. No, but I'm sure they fly them out to places.
Oh, probably.
Do you know that the Dalai Lama has one of the biggest Rolex collections in the world?
I did not know that.
Explain that to me, why the Dalai Lama needs a Rolex collection.
My guess is most of them were gifts, but...
Of course, yeah, they were.
Yeah.
They were, like...
So the question then becomes, like...
Is he the anti-Lama?
I don't know.
You're going around and people are giving you fancy-ass shit and you're keeping it in the collection?
Is it... Here's where I would, like, and again, this is framing, like, is it better for him to refuse gifts from people who are genuinely trying to give him a nice gift, or donate them to charity now, or then wait until he dies and then auction the Dalai Lama's collection of Rolexes for more money than he could sell them right now?
You think he's that mastermind that he's like, when I die, it will be worth more?
He's the Dalai Lama, bro.
I don't know. I would pawn it almost immediately and then be like, bro, I gave you that as a gift. And then he could be like, but I'm the Dalai Lama.
Yeah, but then then it could...
Then they'll stop giving him fancy
watches. He could die. 3 monks in red robes could walk into Rick Harrison's pawn shop with the Dalai Lama's collection of Rolexes, and Rick's gonna be like, "Wow, this is a one-of-a-kind opportunity."
You see, I just brought this up.
Let me call a friend.
Yeah, I just brought this up to make a point because I know we're gonna end up switching topics.
Well, yeah, we've gone pretty off topic on this one, eh?
That the Dalai Lama is not the Dalai Lama, but it's the anti-Lama.
Yeah, Dalai was a sheep, not a llama.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's the real Dalai Lama. I think the one that they parade around is a fake anti-Christ type character.
Yeah, I don't know.
The things that he doesn't make sense. Now, the Rolex is just one of them, and let's change subject before this gets banned by YouTube.
Are you sure you're talking about the Dalai Lama and not Osho?
No, I like Osho. He makes fun of people.
You know,
that's a good guru. When he's just like...
Isn't he the guy that had like the collection of Rolls Royces though?
That would be Osho.
Yeah.
No, but Osho isn't the Dalai Lama. He's not representing Buddhism, is he?
I don't know. I thought he was.
No, he's like an Islamic
preaching non-attachment and things like that. I don't know what he preached. I just know he had a lot of Rolls Royces and people criticized him for it.
Oh yeah? Well, I've seen some of his speeches, and that character, you should Google Osho because it's probably like.
Well, look, I guess this goes to show you that no matter what spiritual path you follow, somebody's going to criticize you for some aspects of your life. Like, you know, Jesus got nailed to a cross for his spiritual beliefs. So, like, whatever beliefs you have, like,
They're gonna be tested.
they're going to be tested. People are going to criticize them. I mean, here we are. Here's Germ and me, like, you know, criticizing the Dalai Lama, like, the head of Buddhism, supposed to be, like, you know, one of the most spiritual, happy guys on earth.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are, like, he has Rolexes. Fuck the guy.
Not fuck him, but
Like, you know, here's
Watching
Osho, this
you.
guy whose, like, quotes are on freaking motivational posters all around the world and on memes on Facebook and on Instagram, and there's probably millions, if not billions, of his quotes shared, like, almost daily. And, like, people are, oh, he has Rolls Royces, he was an asshole. But, like, at the end of the day,
he is an asshole.
it's
though,
not
that's
the messenger,
funny part.
it's the message. It's the message. And that's what it's like.
Yeah.
Like, the art and our message is like, if you don't like the way Germ is, or the way I am, or the spirituality, or the other things we talk about besides the art career, like, you know, that's not what Arty Time is about. The Arty Time is about, like, getting the freaking box with wheels and the tent and the tablecloth and those things that make your life easier as an artist. The other stuff is kind of just us having fun.
Mm-hmm.
And being
We
ourselves,
gotta save some of the sauce.
being honest.
Yeah, we gotta save some of the sauce for other episodes. You know, today's sauce involved a little bit of Vistaprint.
Today's sauce
A little bit of price
is
points.
Vistaprint. Like, if you are watching this and you don't go log on and look at Vistaprint and see all the amazing things you can put your freaking art on and turn into, you know, products that you can then turn around and sell, like, I don't know why you're watching this podcast. Like, don't be a Jerry. Go do it. Like,
Yeah, it expands past stickers. I mean, you're probably going on like stickers apps or Sticker Mule and stuff like that, but
stickers are great. Don't get me wrong. Stickers are
promotional
awesome.
products. Get a thermos. Just get one.
Mm-hmm.
And then people are like, "Oh my god, art's on thermoses?" Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's on one. I never got a thermos. Did you?
No.
Oh, we got mugs though.
Yeah, we've had mugs. I sold 20 or 30 mugs. They're hard to ship, so like they're expensive to ship. So
I bought like 130 mugs or something when they had a deal. Like,
yeah, I remember
get
that. It was a
lot of mugs.
crazy deal on those.
and
mugs.
I have a box of mugs in my closet. And when people come over, if they came over for the first time, like, here, take a mug.
Nice.
So it's like that's a gift strictly for
Bro,
people
every
who come
time
to
you
my
do
house.
that, you should be getting a picture, and then you can have a series of mug shots.
Oh, I'm sure they. Well, there's people. I get videos of people having.
Was
their
that the
breakfast
look
and it's,
of
like, in
shit?
the-
I wish I came up with that.
No, it was a look of like I'm not sure
The
what you're
mug
saying.
shots, mugs,
Yeah, you're
happy
oh, okay, I get it,
customer
I get it.
shots,
Yeah.
like mug shots.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
Yeah, I know it's a good idea. That's why I said it. It's not only a good idea; it's a nice pun. That's yeah.
Mhm. But you're sharing too much sauce for one video.
I don't know.
The sauce is gonna be too it's too rich.
I don't know. It's all about rich, buttery, oily coconut oil sauces. Like that sauce is what I like, man. The sauce.
I know. I've been
Fills
seeing
you
it.
up. Fills
You
you
just
up.
put it on that pork belly or whatever you're eating.
Yeah. The pork.
What is it anyways?
Fondue pork. I get like Chinese fondue pork.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, piggies.
So he thinks piggies sacrifice themselves lovingly
Also cows.
and were stoked that their carcass was involved in a festival.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were stoked.
They were stoked.
Whee!
Yeah, it's like the ultimate act of what's the word I want to look for? Yes, sacrifice is one word that comes to mind, but like of a bodhisattva. It's like if
It's the ultimate sacrifice.
if infinity is truly infinite, then the souls of everything reincarnates through the souls of everything else. So at some point, the soul of the pig is going to be like, why not? I
sure.
want to experience what it's like to be caged up in a farm
It's
just
free
for the
meat.
fact that I'm going to then get to experience the joy of Adam eating me through another
100%.
aspect of...
There is pigs that are stoked.
Yeah, or there
Just
were...
as there's pigs that are fucking destroyedly sad.
Oh, possibly. I don't eat those pigs.
Yeah, maybe you don't. Because
No.
you don't vibe with them, so that you don't even pick the meat when you go to the store. You don't even... Your hand doesn't even go towards that meat.
Mm.
As crazy as that sounds.
Or maybe my being thankful for the pigs that I do eat makes one of those pigs who's like angry and stuck in limbo, like be like, oh, that's what it was for. Okay, now I understand my suffering. I can move on.
But I'm just saying that at the grocery store, that all the meats of different pigs are there, and different people pick different meats based on who they are.
I suppose.
That's
At the end of the day, it
the
probably
subtle
happens
energy
that
of it
way.
all. Yeah, they don't even know. We don't even know. I'm not saying that I know. I just know that
Oh yeah, I'm not saying
we're
I know
doing
either.
weird
Like,
things.
we're talking about weird stuff. We're artists. What can I say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what I've always thought was funny is that a plant for sure feels pain when you rip off its child and its children and its fruit,
Probably.
especially if it's ripe.
Yeah, I
Right?
mean,
You put
like,
its energy there, and you're just like, yoinks.
I,
It's gotta
it's
hurt
occurred,
to a degree.
it's occurred to me that if you like the whole vegan ethos of like not causing not
Harm.
harm or not having the right to take a life, really you should only eat fruits and nuts and things that come from plants where the plant doesn't have to get killed. Like a potato,
potato,
a
yeah.
potato is a root. You have to kill the plant to get the potato.
Unless
Celery, you have to like dig it up. You know, lettuce, you cut the head off.
Turnip.
Like turnip, yeah, it's a root.
sacrificed the whole year to make that turnip, and then you went, you took it, you ate it.
But I don't know. Anyway, I'm not here to criticize. I'm not here to criticize or judge anybody. I'm here to try and help people learn how to make a career as an artist, and you know, I guess occasionally chat about other things that Germ and I find interesting and relate to, and yeah. So that's another thing. Like we have talked a little bit, but like I guess the way that this relates to how you can take what we've been talking about and turn it into like advice about making an art career is being yourself. When you're yourself, like I think John Lennon said it, like being yourself might not get you the most friends, but it'll get you the right friends. And if you're an artist, that's what you need. You need the right friends, the right people that resonate with your work, and by being yourself, you'll find those people. Like by just putting your art out there and not giving people anything of your personality to connect with, it's going to be hard to just sell your art based on your art. You know, your personality and your maybe your belief, whatever your interests and hobbies are, like they can also be things that will bring you fans or bring you admirers of your work. For me, you know, like I've shared my art in spiritual groups and things like that, or recovery groups about drugs and alcohol occasionally. If my art especially has to do with that theme, which occasionally I made pieces for people in recovery that they wanted me to make for them to celebrate their recovery from drugs and alcohol and things like that, from addiction. You know, like if by say for example you love cars and you paint cars, like join exotic car groups and post your Ferrari paintings in there, and you know, like those kind of things. You know, you can find your audience through your passions and your hobbies outside of just art. And like for me, one thing that I share about myself is my music, and like I've had people find my music on YouTube and then visit my website and sign up for my email list for my art, and vice versa. You know, I've had people for my art, you know, be super surprised that I make music, and they go follow my YouTube channel for music, and they're like, oh wait, he does Arty Time too, like cool, like they want to watch Arty Time. So like all the things that you do as a person that you want to share about your life, like can connect with other people. So yeah, like and oh man, you've got something big coming up that we haven't mentioned at all. When is that?
This Thursday?
It's this Thursday.
Yeah, VIP party. They literally all my friends are like, so I'll see you at the party. I'm not getting invites because I don't know if I said this. Gmail said I got too many emails and they stopped letting me have emails. So I'm getting emails about this. So I have to go see them today and be like, okay, tell me exactly what's going on in person. And I'm getting taught how to run the lift on Thursday. I can start painting this 6-story building Friday, and for 10 days I have to finish. Oh, and they're like, do you want a projector? And I was like, do you have? And you'll have a guy to run it for me? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, then yes, obviously. So by going to see them, I got a yes on this guy who's gonna go on this other building and project for me. So dude, this is gonna be the easiest. Besides me being scared of heights, this just solved all my anxiety.
That's amazing.
If there's a guy projecting, it's like, okay.
But what's this event like? Cause
This is a big festival in Montreal for people who do street art. It's might as well be the Super Bowl. You dream about it. You dream about being picked to paint a fucking 6-story building with a skyjack, and the streets closed, and for 10 days it's just an absolute party with like shows, block parties, drinking on the street vendors, and it's all based around murals.
Hmm.
Now, the general public isn't, it's art. The general public is like, they're cool about it, but they don't know fuck all, and they don't necessarily care that much. So, like, it takes a bit of it, you have to realize that when you're in it. It's a Super Bowl for
when
artists.
it comes to mural fest and street art, I'll be honest, I'm the general public. It's like, I don't know all these guys. Like, Germ drops their names like as if
I'm part of that scene, right? So it's exciting. That scene to me, and those players are
And I'm
exciting
not.
players in that scene. I want them to transcend that scene and enter into the mainstream scene? Of course. So do I.
Hmm.
And to do that, we're going to need to use innovative ways.
Hmm.
How did I get to mural? How did I get to the Super Bowl in 3 years? I'm using innovative ways to do it, and I want to show that to everyone. That it applies to anything.
Like, I'll
it
be
applies to
honest,
the visionary scene. If you could be innovative in that scene, you'll transcend it and not leave it. You'll just be at the top of that scene.
Exactly. Mural Fest isn't really my cup of tea. Like, I've never gone to it. I don't know a lot of the street artists who are in it. It's just not my thing. I've never done a mural. Like, I didn't follow that scene. I followed like more like the cosm visionary art scene. I know a lot of those artists that maybe Germ doesn't know all of them. He's probably heard me and Chris Dyer talk about a lot of them.
But Chris Dyer knows about murals.
Yeah, he does.
And he's the head of the top in the visionary world, and it's because he does murals.
It's mostly because he does murals, yes, and he has been part of Mural Festival in the past. Like, where I was going with this is, like, I don't know a lot about it, but I do know that being asked to paint a big wall in it is like a huge honor, and I'm super proud of Germ for like managing to make that happen, because he deserves it. I mean, this guy works harder than any other artist I know, and I'm pretty much like,
I don't know about that.
I think
smart. I think smart, and I'm not working hard. I'm always working.
You're not working.
I'm always
it's
working.
not like it's hard for you, I guess. It comes naturally and easy for you. You've got that like always on the go mind where you're always busy, you're always working.
That's
That's how it looks to me. But it looks like you've got that fire under you all the time, and like it seems. I know there's days where maybe you don't have it 100%.
Only when I'm getting slightly sick, but keto helps because I don't really get sick.
It appears
slightly sick, I'll be.
It appears to me that you create more art more often than almost any other artist I know, and that definitely includes me, especially lately. I've been honestly on a little slump when it comes to my creating art, so I'm slowly coming out of the slump. But this guy just nonstop.
I appreciate you saying that.
Like, the ideas are constant, and like there's things that he sits here on my couch designing that never actually get made, because he'll design 4 things in one night and like only release 1, and like the other 3 I just disappear into like a vortex of
maybe I'll come back.
Didn't get picked for this, and will come around again in the future, but
it's true.
But so like the amount of stuff that this guy generates between canvases and clothes,
there's 2
and
secrets
inks,
to that.
it's just bananas. It blows my mind how much he does.
And it's a coincidence that you bring it up, because today I had a friend who was going to a transcendental meditation talk, and he had no idea what it was. And transcendental meditation is how I have this creativity that you're talking about, and how you can have endless creativity. Transcendental meditation is, there is no space and time, and if you believe and feel something, then the universe has no choice but to hand it to you, because you're already feeling that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I just asked for a certain type of graphic. I wanted sacred geometry, the tessellate. Remember when I was here?
Mm-hmm.
And then it came. Maybe not that night, but it came within 24 hours. It always comes within 24 hours. I saw Islamic patterns, and I was like, oh, that's a tessellation. They base some of them off hexagons and regular shapes, and I was able to make my pattern. But I'm looking, because I had asked in the transcendental meditation space, which is closing your eyes and feeling that you're going to receive it, and don't fight it. It's not coming right now. It's going to come. And as you get really good, it comes in 24 hours. And you'll notice most good artists are magicians in that. Chris is a magician in manifestation. He can pull it off. I don't know if it's 24 hours, but he definitely pulls it off really fast. And the other secret, I forgot those 2. It'll come back to me.
See, there's like a lot of ways to work the law of attraction and or the transcendental meditation and or confidence and or just hard work, whatever you want to call it. There's, you know, anyone successful has that that focus, that thing where they're concentrating on what they want to achieve.
So this is what,
by concentrating on what you want to achieve often, your mind's going to come up with ways to make it happen.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not focusing on what you want to achieve, you're sitting there watching TV, your mind's not going to come up with those things. But if you're constantly thinking about the thing that you're trying to achieve, you'll come up with a way to do it.
And it becomes addictive. It becomes a drug. So that's another trick of the trade, is that these things can become addictive. And it becomes a curse at some point, but, you know.
And things are going to happen, like in an art career, like kind of happened to me, like where you might get stuck for a bit on like a certain level where something's frustrating. Like I relate it to, like, I remember one time I was stuck on, I don't play the Candy Crush anymore, but way back in the day when it first came out, I was addicted as everyone else on that stupid thing.
Really?
I got hooked on level, I forget what it was, but man, I was hooked on it for days and days and days. And like eventually when I finally broke through it, it was an amazing feeling. And it was like almost better than all the other levels I beat previously, just because I finally freaking beat this one stupid level. And like that's kind of how I feel now in my art career. Like, you know, I'd been really depressed, had to get a job, I was all fucked up in my head about it, and you know, now it's all evening out, and I kind of feel like I broke through a really important level, and now I can like continue on with building things and making, you know, getting through other levels faster type of thing, you know. Like I'm not stuck anymore, and it feels good. So yeah, like in your art career, if you ever get to those places where you feel stuck, like don't worry about it. It's kind of normal. It happens to anyone in any career.
Yeah.
Where you get to places where you're just frustrated for a little while and you get stuck. And like being an artist, you know, some people who aren't artists think, oh, you're an artist, you're lucky, you just get to sit and paint all day. Well, if you watched any of these podcasts before, you know that that's not the way that being an artist works. There's a lot of stuff involved in making money as an artist, and
that's a very important point. Is to watch out for like that quicksand when you don't do something, and then you don't do something the next day, and that starts forming as a habit, and then all of a sudden you feel this unbelievable weight, like you can't breathe, that you're caught in quicksand, and you start getting even more fucked.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because you're thinking too much. You're going too much. Like all you need to do is the smallest act, the smallest stupidest act, and then tomorrow another small stupid act. And if you do a small act every day, they will compound and you will not be in quicksand.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't do it, you go in the opposite direction of the consistency, the consistently down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just another trick of the trade, is, well, one thing a day.
Mm-hmm.
And some days it's not going to be the best thing ever, you know, and be okay with that.
You know, some days it'll just be one thing. Some days it'll just be like, yo, I filled in one color on a painting. Some days it'll be like, yo, I sent one email. Some days it might be like I replied to one message. Whatever it is, it's always better than a zero. And yeah, so like try and build some momentum. The best thing like for me in my career as an artist, when things have always flowed the best is when I've built momentum. When I've been consistently doing the things that I know that I need to do on a regular basis for a long time consistently, then things flow.
That's glow in the dark canvases.
When I start to slack on a few things here and there, or I lose motivation because it's like, I posted every day for a week and I'm only getting 30 visits to my website, and like, and I don't feel like posting today. What's the point? You know, and then when that's kind of
not the vibe. That's
when that kind of thing.
My first trick was transcendental meditation. That's not the vibe.
Yeah, my thinking goes that way, or went that way.
And then you'll pick that meat. You'll paint that painting. You'll attract that person. Okay, it's for real.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like super esoteric, but it is 100% for real. How you do anything is how you do everything. So it's really important to take those breaks and realign yourself. You know, if you're feeling weird about the work, you need to stop, so that vibe is not encoded in the work, because that vibe is pushing that liquid paint and solidifying it with that vibe. So reattune.
At the same token, like I think that say you created something and you weren't in the best vibe when you created it. Once you reattune your overall vibe, that vibe of that piece will come with you. It won't stay there behind as a shitty vibe piece. It'll join the rest of your vibe, in my opinion. Because like
I paint differently than you.
yeah,
I paint and it's encapsulated within the span of a couple hours. It's locked in and it's there. It's multiple sessions.
yeah.
So
Most of my
yeah, like you could have 30 good sessions and 2 bad sessions, and of course I'm not seeing the 2 bad sessions because of the overall.
No, but there's even been times, like especially when I was ill over the last few years, where like honestly, like I didn't want to do anything, paint nothing. I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to sleep, and like I knew I had to do some painting for clients who hired me, and I ended up creating some of my best work, like the tiki mandala. I was sick when I created that. I really wasn't feeling well, and it took me a long time to create something that should have taken me a lot less time if I'd been healthy and been able to focus more on it, and if I didn't have that. Oh, I got it. Like I wasn't super motivated, but I ended up creating something that I'm super proud of and that I think is one of my best pieces. It was a custom piece I was asked to do, and like the tiki thing was like out of my wheel. I wasn't prepared to be asked to do something like that, and I had to do a bunch of research. Well, I didn't have to, but I did a bunch of research, and I read all about the history of tiki and tiki bars and the designers and the artists, and I found out that like a big reason tiki culture became revitalized in the 50s was because of Disneyland, and then there's like all these Trader Joe's and Trader Vic's and all these like you know tiki bars that were like nationwide chains and things that like it was a real fad for a while, and then it came back and went away, and now it came back again. But this whole tiki vibe that came back again now has like its whole underground punk vibe to it, and it's like it's weird, and I don't know. It was just really interesting to learn all about it, and like these famous tiki artists and carvers, and so I absorbed that whole vibe when I created that piece. And like you said, like I dove into that world for a while, and came out with this amazing piece. And that's what happens when I create a custom mandala for somebody. It's like there's something else that's working through me that's making it happen. So even if I'm in a shitty mood and I don't feel like sitting there painting, doesn't matter. As long as I sit there and paint, my mood isn't relevant to the end creation because it's not me creating it. There's something else making it happen, and I'm just like the brush in God's hands. And I own Chris Dyer's painting named Brush in God's Hands, where it's basically like a big light, and like there's this beam coming out holding a paintbrush, which is Chris Dyer upside down, and like his hair is the paintbrush.
He's like yelling like.
And for many, many years, I saw that painting hanging at Chris's house when I'd go over and buy his other art, and I never wanted it because it didn't mean anything to me. And then when I became an artist, I saw Chris still had it available, and I bought it from him, and I'm super like it really resonates with me now, because like I know that feeling like when I create pieces, especially the ones that I spend a lot of time on, like, and I stand back from them, I know that that's not just me that did that. There's no way that I could do those things sometimes, especially when I nail the symmetry on a big canvas that I like freehand. Like I know there's something else guiding me.
Of course, these ideas that we have are not our own, and you just have to get out of your own way. If you believe that you're having a mental block or whatever you want to call an artist block, you're gonna have it. You better believe you're gonna have it. Unless you're asking for it. But if you believe that you're flowing with ideas, you're gonna it's a very grandiose idea to have. Delusions of grandeur, some would call that. To believe that you're flowing with bountiful creativity, but it's the only way to get it. Is to have that delusion of grandeur. And it works.
Well, that's the only way anything gets created in the world is if somebody believes in it.
If someone has a delusion of grandeur.
Anything that exists that you see, somebody had the idea in their mind first, and somebody else told them that idea was stupid.
Yeah, it's a delusion of grandeur.
So, like, the more people that tell you your idea is stupid, the more chances you have a pretty damn good idea.
Man, if you're watching this and you're an artist, let's be real. a lot of people think you're fucking stupid.
Yeah, a lot of people think you're flaky and weird and
no, that you want to sell art. That's stupid.
Yeah.
So like, if you're already down that path, you might as well not care.
Yeah, exactly. Like I guess this podcast we gave some pretty good secrets. We gave the secrets on like things you need to have for vending at events, especially outdoor ones. You need the tent, you need the tablecloth, you need something with wheels. Those are like the bare minimum. After that,
good price point.
Good price points, products.
The $5 range, $10 range,
$20 range.
15 chase to the 20.
That works. I was actually doing t-shirts $15, 2 for 20. So people were like, you know, and I would tell people $10 t-shirts, and then they'd look and they'd always buy 2. You know, it was rare that somebody would buy 1.
Oh, the sneaky $10, but only on the chase. Oh,
yeah,
you really got them there.
So yeah, that's why I sell a lot of t-shirts. And the other thing we gave you is the Vistaprint secret, and we didn't go into a lot of details about it.
Were
but
people
like,
buying white?
No, I mostly only have black shirts. I only have like 1 white shirt left, and it's a medium, and that's it.
Okay.
So anyway, I will have some new white shirts coming out.
There's the
sometime
Vistaprint
soon,
trick?
but yeah, the Vistaprint trick. I mean, shirts, pens, magnets, stickers, banners, mouse pads. They've got all kinds of things.
How's your
mugs,
wife, by the way?
Mugs. My wife.
How's your Albanian wife doing?
Well, I haven't hired her yet, so like I haven't proposed, so I don't know.
Okay.
I'm waiting.
Okay.
I'm saving up for the ring.
Okay, yes. I have to ask. Gotta keep it rolling.
Yeah, I know that whole thing is gonna keep. It's gonna happen. It's just matter of time. I got. It's not payday yet. So,
That's Fiverr. That was another secret sauce episode.
And another secret sauce episode was about like if you have artist blocks. Like another quick thing you can do is just reorganize your studio, move your paint, move your chair, move your computer, move something in your studio and workspace. Get your flow reorganized so that your brain will start playing tricks with you, and you'll feel like everything's new again, and you'll just
pop out of that quicksand.
It's weird, but you pop out of that quicksand. I told the story in another episode, but I did that at a call center I used to manage. I just used to move people's screens to the other side of their desk, and they'd come in the morning and scream at me that I'm facing the wrong way, but sales would go up 20% in the room when I did that, just because of that subconscious thing where something is new, so your whole brain kind of gets out of that repetitive path of negativity, let's call it, or of disbelief or fear. So that one little change, might help you get out of that rut. Okay, what else did we drop the sauce on today? You're going to be at Mural Fest, which is huge.
Delusions of Grandeur.
Yeah, your 6-foot mural.
6 stories.
It's going to 6 stories. 6
foot.
foot. Yeah, six foot would have been huge for your Mural Fest. There, it would have been like.
I'd have to kneel at times.
It's like new mini murals. So no, your 6-story mural is gonna be amazing. Like
the truth is, I never really did.
How?
Murals. I never really did them, right? I did garage doors.
Oh, I saw the one through the train window when I was coming home the other day.
That's graffiti.
To me, that's a mural.
Okay. See, but you know what I mean? Like, I was going around doing illegal paintings on things.
It's big and it's on a wall. What else would you fucking call it?
Mural
means on a wall, no?
Nah, that's just because you're the general public. In this regards. In the scene, a mural is like,
very much so.
You went and you did a service for someone. It's usually legal and paid for. To get it to be on this level where they're asking you to do a large building, there is some things involved that like you might have noticed if you listen to this whole podcast that I study the phenomenon of society and play a game with it, with what I learn and what I could push and pull with this society thing. Murals is a type of art that has to deal with hype and has to deal with something that is so complex that it's like it's just a new way. It's the peak of art at the moment, and it's very interesting how to get it going because any style can run.
Sick. So like this is my secret. I have never done a mural. I've never used spray paint in my life. However, Chris Dyer and my friend Germ here are gonna be pretty well known in the mural world eventually. Well, Chris already is, and this guy's like up and coming, and this 6'6" 6-story mural that he's about to do is gonna blow people's minds, and I know it is. I don't even know what he's planning on doing.
I'll have the Barbie Batman in there
But
for sure.
it's gonna be amazing.
The
and,
crowd pleasers. Rat Boy.
And see, then I'm
All the crowd
Then I'm
favorites.
just gonna kind of like ride on their coattails. And
No,
be
you
like,
come paint.
I'm gonna
man.
be like, Germ, man, you know, like you're too big for Montreal's Mural Fest now, so like I think you can drop me like that organizer's phone number, and I could maybe try and get a wall for one of my mandalas. And then I'll be like,
one episode I'd like to do the.
Who's the guy that you called out in Miami for like having his elves do his art?
Obey. He's the guy who.
There you go. I'll get the wall, and then I'll have other people do it.
Like the shirts for
Thank
the
you very
festival.
much.
The shirts for the festival are black, and you saw it before. I showed you. The shirts for the festival are the black ones are Obey, and the white ones are Germ.
That's amazing.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
That's freaking amazing.
That's so crazy.
And does Obey have a 6-story wall at this mural festival?
I think in the end, and Shepherd Ferry has a lot of documentaries and stuff about him and stuff like that. But in the end, I think that
Does this mean there's 2 people watching right now?
Yeah.
Oh, hi. Awesome.
At midnight.
Nice. Isn't it
Join
like
us.
1 in the
midnight
morning?
East. No, probably like midnight or something.
I bet you one of them is Colby. Colby, if you're watching, like, leave a comment to let me know that it's actually you. Or whoever's watching.
You'll
leave a
see the
comment.
comments are on the bottom. We're a bit too far that we can't read them. But when they pop up,
Oh,
the
all
ones
right.
that are popping up down there.
Look at us, our
There you go.
professional podcasting thing here. Yeah, it is. Yo, what's up? He's all stoked. I sent him the picture of me at Cosm and Alex Gray with his painting. So, like, I wish I had.
It's me, brother.
Yeah, we need to get like
Brother.
we need to get a tablet. I'm gonna invest in a tablet for Arty Time podcast that
Oh
like
my
we
God,
can
look at this guy.
have.
Rich boy.
So we can have
Rich
something
gang, rich
so
gang,
we
rich
can
gang.
like reply to these comments without being like old lady like having to lean in on the phone and like, who is this? Like, yeah. So we
My
should.
point though, before you
Okay, yeah.
cut me
Before I
off,
cut you off.
my point
Apologies.
was that if it helps in art. If you want to be a good artist, one of my advice is to watch wrestling. Watch it's like characters.
Okay.
Characters are important. I'm not talking about fucking watch them fight. That's stupid. But who was Hulk Hogan? Why did people like Bret Hart and stuff like that? They were characters that stood for something, and they stood for it, and they had catchphrases and things like that. Artists can have those things, and it's so incredibly important.
Yeah, it's branding.
If you have a catchphrase, oh my god, bro. Do you have a catchphrase?
Do I have a
Sometimes
catchphrase?
you post, and it's like that thing that Adam says.
Not really.
Then you better fucking think of one.
No, I don't know.
Honestly, recently I've been saying Bob Ross. I keep changing it, which is a problem. But recently I've been saying Bob Ross 2000. It's amazing.
Bob Ross 3000.
A guy literally the other day was like, "Oh my god, it's Bob Ross 3000 downtown."
What?
Not even GermDee. It's Bob Ross 3000. I've been saying it for like 3
Nice.
days,
No,
and I was
don't know.
like, "Damn,
I
I wrote it on my profile now. Bob Ross 2000."
I did one time when I went to New York on the train. Somebody said, "Oh my God, you're the Mandala guy on Facebook," and I guess that's like.
Imagine if you're
that's
like,
close.
"I'm the Mandela guy on Facebook," and then she said that, you would have been like, "Oh my god, it's working."
Well, and another time in the dollar store, a woman went, "Oh my God, it's you! It's you! I only see you online. Like you're. Oh my God, I can't believe I saw you in real life." And this was.
But
at
she
the-
didn't mention Mandela Facebook guy.
No, but it.
So you gotta work on
but
branding.
that's okay. Like, no, it's oh my God, it's you. That's some good branding. Like I'm
But
okay with that.
No, you'd be so surprised how important it is. There's one guy, you might know him. Someone showed me, a friend had showed me, and it's this guy who says stunt on him. Got a stunt on him and things like that. I thought the first time, I was like, it's a wasted.
Chugin.
It's wasted talent or something like that. Either way, at first time I heard it, I was like, that's weird, and I never heard anybody say that before. I heard him say it 3 more times. It was immediately his thing, and I sometimes think about it, and I think about him, and that's what's so strange, and how powerful that is. So, think about a catchphrase. You're like Kramer to certain people.
Well, there you go. See, the catchphrase is Chugin. Yo, that's Chugin, yo. Chugin.
You wrote it.
I
Yo,
know, that's his
Chugin.
catchphrase. He gave that catchphrase to me because, yeah, it was an inside joke there in our message, long story short. But, yeah. So, Chugin. Chugin's the new thing. Chugin means, like, amazing. It means gratitude. It means, like, it means
Chugin,
someone
bruh.
that you're really chill with. It could be, like, the situation is really chill. It's like, yo, that's Chugin. And it's also a CCR song. So, go look that up because if you're tripping balls, that song is freaking Chugin.
The world is a stage, is my point, and if you're an artist, it's okay for you to go out there and perform. You can have videos where you podcast where you're a fucking regular person and you swear and some shit, but know that also when you do videos, you can perform. You can be a character.
Mm-hmm.
You know John, who wears like the craziest outfits down.
Jonathan Lanthier.
Yeah,
Yes,
of course.
I know him.
Bang. You know
Yeah.
John? Yeah, John, and he drops the last name. Bro, think about that. The guy didn't have to change his name to Johnny.
Yeah,
And he should, because Johnny is memorable as fuck.
I suppose. Yeah,
He is, bro. And
he's memorable without needing to change his name, man. I mean, I'll be honest.
Guy.
I thought of branding myself as Adam Nexus.
And John, just so we're clear, John is a extravagant dresser. Is the real thing that makes him memorable.
Yes,
that's what the main thing is.
That is his art. Like, I mean, that's part of his art. Like, to me, that
part of his art. See what you said?
It's part of the whole thing. If he showed up in a suit and tie, I wouldn't recognize him.
Yeah. No, he stands out.
Yeah.
In his dress, I dressed weird today, and it was definitely I had John in mind.
You know, I kind of stick with with me. You know, this is me. This is my brand. I'm not like an alien. I'm not Jonathan Lanthier or Chris Dyer with the dreads. I'm kind of a normal dresser, I guess. Like,
I just tucked in my shirt into dress pants.
You know,
I was in a situation where people wouldn't do that.
If I didn't have my own clothing brand, like, and I was just sitting at home, I'd be in jogging pants and a paint stained shirt, like a paint stained hoodie, and that's what I was usually in before Germ started turning his camera on and
I'm in jogging pants and a hoodie.
Yeah, but like it's your good hoodie.
I know, I make it look good, you know?
Yeah. See, like I didn't have my own branded hoodies, and the hoodies that I did wear, like I couldn't avoid spilling paint on them. It's weird. Like so far, I've managed to avoid spilling paint on any of my own branded clothes, which is pretty. I'm grateful for that. No pigs involved in this gratitude.
When I first started painting outdoors, I noticed that a lot of people would change clothes, and this is like to bring up the other point of how to reprogram yourself. I didn't want to do that. I just didn't want to bring extra clothes and get into a change of clothes. So I told myself, and this could be helpful for you, I'm just going to be careful. And by believing that you're going to be careful, you start to notice the small acts of unawareness and unconsciousness that you do that causes paint to get on things. Oh, you get paint on your finger and you don't care about cleaning it right away because you don't care. How you do everything is how you do anything. And then later you fucking touch your pants and now you have shit on your pants.
Mostly where I get paint on me is like in my lap when I like take my paintbrush out of my cap and I have like just a little bit too much and it drips. That's or if I pull my thing out and there's like a chunk of paint and like sometimes I get really into it where I'm just like dip paint and like I'm just going and like I won't notice that there's like that chunk of like paint from around the rim of the cap that'll fall in, and I'll take it with the chunk and the chunk will drip off with like a whole slab of paint. Those are the pretty much the only situations I get paint on my clothes, which is like, you know, I was thinking of, you know, sometimes I've seen artists put their pants. I was gonna say I've seen artists put their paint stained clothes on eBay or you know up for sale for a lot of money, and I was thinking about it, but then like when I look at them, like there's only paint stains like in the lap area. Like it's so weird. There's no paint. And
there's an artist, Jeff Tilley, I think his name is. He's a Wall Street stockbroker or something like that who left because he was selling paintings to his stockbroker friends anyways and making more money. You know, something stupid like that. He wears those pants religiously, especially if he's going to an event with those squares from Wall Street. You know, they're all there in the same fucking tuxedos, all navy blue, and he comes in and he has some color on his pants, and he's his back is straight, you know, he's walking with confidence and like, my God, we need to buy his paintings. Look how confident he is. I could never wear pants like that. That's a performance.
Well, like one thing I would like to do with my clothing line eventually is bring it into dress clothes, like bring it into suits and ties and things like that, high-end menswear. That's kind of where I would like to take my clothing brand eventually. There's the whole other festival way I could go with it, but that's not where I want to go. I managed a call center for a long time and I had to wear a suit and tie to work every day, and now I'm managing a call center again, and eventually I'll probably want to wear a suit and tie to work. So like I want to make something for all those people that work in suit and tie environments, and like kind of have that secret code of like I'm not a suit. Like under this suit, I'm not a suit. Like under this suit, I go to Fish concerts on the weekend. Under this suit, like I get home and I'm an artist and I paint, or like I'm into Terrence McKenna's philosophy. Like I listen to Joe Rogan, like that little secret wink that suits can have with each other when they're at their suity parties and their suity events, and everybody's in a suit.
And like later we'll take off this suit and we'll put on good hoodies.
Yeah, later we'll take off this suit
good.
And it'll be good because underneath we'll have like one of Adam's t-shirts there too, so it's like I don't know. Anyway, that's where I'm thinking now. Who knows? Something could change, and that idea could totally go out the window. But that's really something that I would like to do with my art and my clothing brand in the future, is take visionary art and subtly infiltrate the world of suit and ties and those people.
Yeah, I think that would be good for the visionary world.
Because I was one of those people, and like I wore a suit and tie to work, and at home I had 9 of Chris Dyer's paintings. And I had no way to like represent that was my kind of personality when I was in my suit and tie, other than telling people about it or showing them the art and things like that. It was a little bit before cameras on your phones were any good. So that's something that I'd like to do that I think would be really, really interesting and really cool, and
it gives a chance
it would make
to
a
bring up your
difference.
art.
It would make a difference.
It gives a chance to bring up your art too.
And I genuinely think it would make a difference in the world.
Because as we talked in the beginning, to sell something, you have to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So by having your art on a suit, you're talking to people in suits about your art.
Mm-hmm.
That's not awkward.
And I can wear a suit without feeling like with pride. I could wear a suit knowing that it has something of my own on it. Like I feel great when I go around wearing my clothes. I'll be honest. It's taken my confidence level in my business, not just my art. I love my art. The art I
got those from Vistaprint.
I did. The art I create when I create a painting and step back from it, I love that. The business part I don't always love, but like when I get to walk around wearing my clothes and stuff like that, it really does bring some of the love and the passion to that, because it's like this whole other level of confidence when you look at yourself in the mirror and you're wearing something pretty nice and it's yours. It's your design. Mm-hmm. It's your passion reflecting back at you in a way that's like very real. And especially like when I saw on Saturday those people who bought my shirts on Friday coming back to my table wearing my shirt, like that's an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
So I don't know, what else do we got to talk about? This has been a long one. The last one was a short one. This was probably like almost the longest one we've done so far. I think we went 2 hours on one of them, and we're at like 1 hour and 38 minutes right now.
We'll wrap it up if you want.
Cool. Well, I mean, yeah. Do you have anything else like interesting you want to say about Mural Festival, or anything else that you're like you've got your fingers and toes into these days? Like you've got like new creations coming out all the time. So.
It's a performance, bro. We're talking about like a festival of people who think they know what's cool, because let's be real, no one really knows what's cool. So I know
what's cool. That's why I have 13 of your paintings.
Everybody, has an idea. This is like no, but you have to really understand what I'm trying to say here. This is a festival of people who think they know what's cool. You're here and you don't know about it. You don't care, so you're a different person. These people who like.
I know what's cool. GermDee's art is cool.
What? Yeah, okay, but what's the new Nike drop? Things like that. You understand what I'm trying to say?
No, I don't understand.
Are the
Drop.
Raptors gonna beat Golden State?
Did
I'm talking
Nike,
about
did
like
Nike change their logo? They're having a drop
No, I'm
now?
talking about like this is what's considered mainstream cool. Who's like, is Post Malone doing the fucking show on Thursday? Okay, you don't get it. That's what I'm trying to say. But so for me, it's gonna be a performance.
Oh yeah, Post Malone's a rapper, right?
A big rapper.
Okay, yeah.
A big cool. He's cool. He's a cool guy. So in the sea of the people
Yay for being old.
In a sea of people who are gonna try and be cool, how do you perform in that scene? It's very like it's a delicate task. You don't go in there trying to outdo anybody with fucking gold fangs and then. That's what they're gonna do. If you get my drift. How do you get one step above all of this? And I think it might be tucking in my shirt and hiking up my pants, Steve Urkel style. What do you think?
I think Steve Urkel style could.
Nobody would fucks with this. No one will do it, so I'll be the one who stands out.
100%.
Ha bitch.
100%.
And all I need is some hot bitches on my side, and I've won.
If you Urkel it up, it's gonna be pretty impressive.
I think that might be. I lost my good glasses. I left them somewhere, but I have other glasses.
They gotta be red frames, eh?
No, just big see-through.
Yeah,
so even at night I'm wearing them, but they're not like obnoxious. I'm not hiding my eyes. I'm just wearing big glasses, and my pants are high, and my shirt's tucked in.
You need suspenders too, I think, eh?
And I'm making the ladies laugh, and then all the boys who play the wall are gonna be like, oh, "Should I tuck in my shirt?" And as soon as they think that, bitch, I got you.
I don't know.
And then I untuck my shirt. And
See, I was never very
what to do.
Like, I don't know. Maybe when I was younger, I was susceptible to that kind of thing. But
the world is though.
I'd like to think that ever since I had my first acid experience when I was like 16, that I wasn't so susceptible to looking at other people and being like, "Oh my god, I gotta be that way."
I've taken acid.
There's been times where I analyzed situations and been like, it would be good for me to be this way for my career when I was working at call centers. Like, believe me, I didn't want to wear suits and ties, but once I started wearing suits and ties, I'm like, well, if I wear a nicer suit, like, people that wear suits notice the difference between a nice suit and a not nice suit. People that don't wear suits don't notice the difference between $1,000 suit and a $300 suit. But people that do wear suits notice that stuff. So I'm like, I want to start wearing those $1,000 suits. So when I walk into a place with all these people that know about suits, they know that I'm not wearing a $300 suit. And it makes a difference in the way people treat you. And it's ridiculous, but it's the same way as...
That's what I'm talking about.
It's the same way as being an artist who's not in a gallery and doesn't have a website and doesn't have a website presence and doesn't have social media accounts. Isn't going to be taken as seriously as an artist who does have all that stuff and who maybe has had gallery shows or had representation of some sort with a gallery or an art agent or whatever.
And why I brought that up, that you need to perform, is because everyone's always watching, really. And in this situation, the gallery owner...
Everyone, all two of you, thanks, by the way.
Everyone, the gallery owner who's there is looking at the artist. And even if you were invited, but you show up there meek and you don't feel like you're in the right place, then that's felt, and that's where your career is going, that you're not in the right place. But if you perform like you're in the right place, it's picked up, and that story continues. That's also a part of transcendental meditation. You're acting the part. If you are the big artist, then you have to be put in the shows. And you have to have your own shows, and you have to sell for a lot of money, and that's just the way it is. So it's a delusion of grandeur, yes, but use it to your advantage. Don't end up in a fucking insane asylum, but know that delusions of grandeur and transcendental meditation can really do great things for you.
And I think by like transcendental meditation, like, I'll be honest, I'm not a whole lot familiar with it, but like for me, I call it law of attraction, or like intentions, setting intentions. There's lots of ways to talk about the thing that we're trying to talk about. So I was saying there's lots of words and ways to talk about what we're talking about, but at the end of the day, basically, it just means having faith and believing that you're going to see results from the efforts you're putting in.
Also, having a transcendental meditation is a little bit having foresight and a plan. You can be adaptive later, but having a plan is pretty important.
Well,
it helps with the belief.
To have a plan, you need to know what you want. And so they go hand in hand, because a lot of people don't know what they want. They think they know what they want, but they don't really know what they
Oh, I
want.
could have told you 3 years ago that I was gonna do Mural Festival. I wouldn't have guessed 3 years, but I would have just said with certainty I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I'm after. I'm not an idiot here.
You know, I, on the other hand, if you would have ever told me I'd be managing a call center again, would have told you you were on drugs, just like I would have told you you were on drugs if you would have told me I would become an artist one day back when I used to be managing a different call center. So, I mean, you know, life's weird that way, but like at the same time, in this case, for me anyway, I'm gonna weave it into gold, man. I'm gonna take this and just turn it into gold, and like it's gonna be super, super, super beneficial for my art career.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see all the things that I'm gonna be able to make happen because of the extra resources that I'll have. I won't, and because of like, I'm not stressed. Like just simple things like you know, I was on the way home from work today, and I was thinking to myself, I'm hungry, and what am I gonna cook when I get home? And da 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 da. I'm like, I don't need to cook when I get home. I'm walking right by the restaurant. I'm gonna stop here and eat supper. And for a long time over the last couple of years, I didn't have that disposable cash to just be able to stop in and drop $12 on a dinner. You know.
Oh, but I was there too. Trust me, I was there too.
So like just being able to do that and like get home with a full stomach and like be able to start doing things when I got home instead of focus on cooking and everything. Like I'm feeling that gratitude, and I'm feeling that just like that weight is lifted of I don't need to worry about where. Like for a long time, for the last year or so, like I was wondering like 3 days before my rent was due, like where's the last $100 gonna come from, or where's the last $40 gonna come from, or whatever it was.
Is this your life right now?
And this is not my life right now. Well, no, that is like one day of my week of my life, yeah. But yeah, I mean,
one day of my life.
Yeah, that's like one day of my week, you know. Like,
me too.
Awesome, me too. Sick. So, bro, like, this is what's happening. Like, we're doing the Arty Time podcast. Like, all this stuff happened. Like, after I got the confidence to start talking to freaking people on a camera, even though I don't still do it on my own Instagram. But
yeah, but also
I'll get there.
The health. It's how you do anything. It's how you do everything, right? The health changed and everything started to change.
Yeah, but the podcast we started doing way after the health changed.
You didn't have that idea.
Yeah, no.
And maybe you might not have done. I'm tired. I don't know if I want to do it. Da, da, da.
Well, Gary Vee was the one that suggested the podcast thing, and because it was part of his content creation strategy, and the way Gary Vee does it is he does his 1 hour or
he's
hour and 10 minutes. Is he? What?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, they're about to sign on. Like, knock on wood or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. I was over the other day and they're talking about it.
And he's not going to be like one of his volunteer interns?
No. It's like a sub. It's probably like Gary Vee's going to sell his Gary Vee shtick, and then he's going to have to pay Mark to do some of the work that he said he was going to do.
All right, I don't know. Anyway, that's cool.
Because they got the secret sauce, like Gary Vee's got the secret sauce, but they sell it.
Well, look, the secret sauce for Gary Vee's thing was when you do something like a podcast.
Well, my real point was there. If you're high vibration, you team up with that are high vibration. Isn't it funny that he's talking about Gary Vee and he's 1 degree away from meeting Gary Vee at this point? Gary Vee might buy one of your paintings.
Gary Vee might buy one of my paintings. Eh? That would be amazing.
See what I mean?
Yeah. So, long story short, like, but where was I going with it? I say long story short.
We're gonna have to just like
I just kind of realized that now.
Meditation in Arty Time podcast. Let's all believe here.
Okay, yeah, I know where I was going.
We're gonna talk about Adam selling to Gary Vee.
If you do something like a long video, like a podcast, like we're doing, that's a great mind to go back and get smaller content from, like it, and it's hard to do if you're one person, but if you have like somebody on Fiverr that you can hire to go watch your podcast and then take some quotes from it and make memes out of your quotes that you can post on your social medias, things like that, you can get more content out there, make more shareable content that like the algorithms won't cut to pieces, because an hour and 48-minute video on Facebook, no one's going to see that. But a meme that you put with a little quote of something me and Germ said might get more attention and more people might see it. So like it's a good way to get smaller content, or even to cut smaller clips from the video. Again, like, it's hard to do if you're just one person doing all of that. But if you can hire somebody or have an assistant or an intern who's willing and able to help you do that kind of thing, doing something like a podcast is a great way to create content, because you don't really think about it. I mean, we don't have a script. We just talk about what's coming off the top of our heads, and sometimes it's meandering and not the best, and then sometimes some real gems will come out of our conversations here. So having somebody to go watch the podcast, take those gems, and distill that into a meme or into a 30-second clip, or into what else, into like an audio clip that we could put on Spotify or wherever else, where there's audio, those kind of things.
Yeah, and that's like this another small step that you could do to be active that day. If you didn't feel like doing much, you could just go and do something like that. So by being productive that one day with the podcast, you saving grace the next day when you're tired. You have an easy thing to do. There's always something to do. And right now it's time to wrap it up, because that's what we gotta do.
Yep, because whatever. 1 hour and 51 minutes. That's a pretty good long. That's a pretty good long Arty time. I feel good about that.
That's like a Christmas special.
The last one wasn't very long, and I feel like this one was packed with some good information and some meandering and some talk about spirituality and maybe people, and some pigs, and people got to know that I'm a little bit crazy, and so is Germ. And I guess that I don't know.
Do I look crazy to you right now? This fucking guy.
I don't know. You sort of like, you're going for the Unabomber look here. Like,
this is how he dressed?
The Unabomber / like hike your pants up and get the Steve Urkel Unabomber combo going on. That could be a pretty unique look.
This is too much. It'll be hot and it's too much.
Yeah, for sure. That's not gonna work.
No, you don't get the ladies like this. They're gonna be like, there's something wrong with his face. And they'll be like, no, ladies, there's nothing wrong.
It's just like, everyone keeps mistaking me for Jesus, so I kind of cover up.
Don't want to be crucified.
Well, the Shroud of Turin, that's what I'm gonna. All right. So on that note, I actually do have to pee now. So that's the standard Arty time. Wrap it up. I gotta pee, and peace. Turn that shit off.
Got it, man.